And A.B. Ross was the first extension agent appointed anywhere in the United States, and he was appointed in Bedford County, which is part of the 30th Senatorial District. It was 100 years ago exactly that A.B. Ross was put in as an extension, the very first extension agent. He was a very well-educated and well-respected person at the time. He was an attorney. He was recognized for his advanced agriculture techniques that he was teaching people at the time. He wrote many books, authored many books. So he was a very well-rounded, very well-respected person. We're naming the program in his honor and teaching the kids a little about A.B. Ross. So that it works. Yeah, it works a couple ways too, that they can learn about somebody that served 100 years ago and advanced agriculture then. And actually, when 4-H was started, that was really the impetus behind 4-H, was to teach kids agricultural techniques so that they could go back and teach their family how things would work, because they could reach the kids easier than they could trying to reach the active farmers. The kids are from 5 counties today in the 30th Senatorial District, and what they're going to do is they're going to learn how to put together a nutrient management program that they're now required to do if they raise animals, and these kids are all animal raisers for 4-H projects. And then they're going to go back and they're going to teach the other kids that are in their chapters how to put together the nutrient management program.
The students began their day in classroom instruction with educators from the Blair Conservation District and Penn State Extension.
So we're looking for potential problems, environmental problems, that a crop field like corn or soybeans or wheat or oats could create, all right, in terms of erosion and nutrient management. All right, we had 2 groups work on that. Can you come up with one? What did you come up with as a problem? Tillage, all right, tillage, because it breaks soil structure and can create erosion. How about something you guys came up with for crop fields that could be a potential problem?
There's no crops there all year round?
There's not a crop there all year round, which means that during part of that growing season, there may be bare ground, all right, that's present in that field. What can you do to make your pastures better? Just rattle off some things, some solutions. Rotation, excellent. What else over here? What else can you do to make your pastures better?
Drainage system.
Maybe, okay, look at some drainage if they're too wet. Anybody soil test? Pastures? Crop? Why do you soil test? Excellent. You look at the nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus needs of that pasture or crop, and then you apply what it needs. You don't want to apply more, right? Soil testing would be very, very important.
After the classroom instruction, the students boarded a bus and headed to a dairy farm owned and operated by Ed Quigley. At the farm, the students rotated through sessions to learn different aspects of a nutrient management plan.
We farm about 800 acres. 440 cows. We generate a lot of manure, a lot of waste. We've got a manure management plan here so that we don't overload the soils, but we are able to apply soil in at the right level so that we can enhance crop production. We're very concerned about the environment, not overloading with manure. We try to apply manure when the grounds are fit. They're not frozen, and we may have a lot of precipitation following that application. We don't want the water going off these fields, and we're on the upper headwaters or the upper watershed of the Chesapeake Bay. So water's coming off of this farm, go down through that swale, find their way into Spruce Creek. Spruce Creek goes into the Little Juniata River. The Little Juniata River goes into the Susquehanna River, and then the Susquehanna River goes into the Chesapeake Bay.
All right, this one is orchard grass. It's a real common grass in pastures. The seed head looks like that. It's kind of rubbery. This one with this seed head is Kentucky bluegrass. Really good in pastures. Very fine grass. This one is tall fescue. Anybody ever hear about tall fescue with your animals? Creates a problem. This is one that we wish we wouldn't always see in pastures because it's got a toxin in it that can create some health issues for animals. Now what I'd like you to do is take your table and add up out of your 10 tosses how many times you landed on grass, how many times you landed on a legume, which is clover, how many times you landed on weeds, how many times you landed on plant litter, how many times you landed on bare ground, and how many times you landed on organic matter. And the last thing we need to do, and this will be easy because you only tossed it 10 times, is figure out what % of the pasture is actually covered with grass, what % of the pasture is covered with legumes, weeds, and so on. All right, so figure out what your percents are.
How's that one doing? Is it staying in the can?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, drop that. Pull it back out. Starting at 4 1/4.
Yeah.
All right, so remember that is what your starting point is. Nobody lives in a pristine environment. Animals do have to go to the bathroom. We do have septic systems in our own homes where we go to the bathroom. We have trash, waste. We have all kinds of things to deal with in our lives. Nothing is perfect. So if we can keep water in place as much as possible, instead of having it rushing into streams and carrying pollutants with, all the way to where? Where do they all go? Into Spruce Creek, into where from there? Into the Chesapeake Bay eventually, right? So if we can keep things where they belong instead of moving them hundreds of miles from here downstream into the Chesapeake Bay. It went down an inch?
No, there's an inch left.
Oh, it went down like 3 inches. And yours went up? Yeah. This experiment worked fabulously.
Amazing.
I'm amazed. Their water is going underground and filling your can. No, I'm just kidding. So yours didn't go down though, right? Is that what we're learning? It at least didn't go down. Yours is almost done infiltrating into the soil, isn't it? Such a small difference in environment, right? From packed soil with just a little grass on it to bare packed soil. What a big difference in how quickly water can infiltrate into the ground.
If you looked at the gutter inside, you had the bed pack young stalk against the far wall inside, and you had that middle gutter system. That gutter system actually comes out, and behind this wood, if you look in there, you'll see the green manure pump. So that system scrapes that manure here in a liquid form. It's a slurry form. It might be about 6 to 8% solids would be my guess. And it's pumped from there through pipes underground to that manure tank behind us. So that's a really nice contained system. The cattle in there, I don't know if they're penned off or not, but they do have access here to a feeding bunk. And you can see some of them headed out to greener pastures, so they have access to pasture as well. First off, just to look at what's happening, we saw the gutter system over there, the liquid system that got pumped from that pump area that was below or behind that fence. The green pump that was there, it's coming underground and going into this system. This at times could be full of manure or close to empty, but one tractor gets hooked up to the PTO here and drives a pump that can agitate the manure within the system and make it more consistent. So if there's solids that have settled or a crust of manure floating, it can break up and make the manure a consistent nutrient content. So when we take it to acres across the farm, we're getting a consistent manure nutrient product to all of our crops.
Everybody lives in a watershed. So the watershed we're in is part of the Chesapeake Bay program, and we have special rules that affect us. So having a greater knowledge of all of those rules and why they're in place will help them, because that is an issue that will be here for many, many years, that we'll have special rules in place to regain the health of the Chesapeake Bay.